Good morning. It's Championship Friday in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm John Rogers, and I am proud to be part of this live stream production powered by U.S. Sailing. We've got 16 races. We've got current strategies, tactics, stories about these amazing sailors, stories about volunteers, stories about the sponsors. So make sure you're following us at Facebook Live and following the live stream. We have been postponed until about 11. And so make sure you check back with us regularly at Facebook to get your updates. We started out, as we expected, with a slight north wind this morning, northeast, a little passing front, a little rain this morning. But as we expected, the southwestish wind or westish wind you're seeing on Ventuski or some of those other websites is showing westerly right now. And it is going to stay this direction for a little while. Get a couple races in, and then the wind will, again, like yesterday, come around from the south. If you track on the website there, you can get an idea of which ways it's going. We are going to take a look at the results from yesterday. It's a pretty exciting day. There are some surprises. Some College Sailor of the Year finalists, in my opinion, are kind of deep in the fleet there. But we've got the A division going up here. Campbell Delisque, without a couple of 16ths there in the end, would have really come in. But you can see BC doing very well with their A division. Erica Reinecke only 11 points behind. And then the Big Green right behind them, very close. Charleston hanging right in there, and very good. And then when we take a look at the, there you see last year's national champion, Yale, down in the fifth zone. Still right, easy chance at second. Hobart had a great day. Look at South Florida. Beautiful. We are going to look at the A Fleet results here, and you're going to see Sean Cornell and Kristen Walker from the University of South Florida, and they got, what place did they get last year in A? They got 8th in A last year, and look at them. They're tied for first with Erica Reinecke there, Alice Bohan, and Lily McGrath. Great crews there for Boston College. You can see Campbell would be winning without a couple of rough races. Great crew there, Megan McCrae. Griner Hobbs doing well. He was about 11th in A last year. Will Liddell was, I think, 5th in A last year. Martine, very good, doing well. Charlie LaLumiere, he's a conference first teamer last year. Honorable mention All-American there. Doing great. Stefano, I hear he's a champion, maybe Olympic laser sailor of some sort. Grace McCarthy, a California sailor. There's my first surprise, Patrick Snow. I think he's going to be a finalist for College Sailor of the Year. He's down in 9th. He's got some work to do. Will Holtz, their Midwest sailor, I believe. Ian Barrows, that's the biggest surprise. 4-time All-American, last year's A Division winner. Like we've talked about all week, this is not San Diego. This has been a regatta that has required different skills. I think the light air has not been to his liking as much as last year, which was, you know, a little steadier there. So we had some special performances yesterday that I wanted to recognize. Look at Chris Williford from Dartmouth. Last year at the team racing, I recognized that here was the rabbit for their steam racing team. This guy has just got jets. Him and his brother, two of the most amazing 29er sailors I ever worked with. Absolute skills, those two. Chris Williford winning the B division with Sophie Kerr, an academic All-American last year. Nathaniel Greason, a senior. Great job to them. Really impressed with Hannah Polster from a bud from BU. You know, first team all-conference skipper. I think she was an honorable mention All-American last year, woman skipper. Hannah comes out with Emily Croteau and Lydia Grassberger, and they get a couple bullets yesterday. That's just great. You know, if you are a young lady out there and you can watch some of this racing and set your bar high, you will be just like them. You will be in this Coed event and competing you know, head-to-head with the best sailors in the country. Work hard, and you'll get there just like those ladies have. So we talked about Sean and Kristen. Let's see if they can do well. I talked to their coach, Alan, a good friend, and Alan said not only did they start well, but they just tried to stay inside the tidal cone. You know, the tide, when it's going up the course, it brings the ley lines in from, you know, an 80-degree tacking angle to even like a 65, 7 degree. It doesn't make the boat tack better, but the ley lines move in. And their goal was to stay inside the tidal lines. And he also said they got a little lucky. One race they had a bad start, they ducked the whole fleet. How many of you guys, champion sailors, have done this? You've started, you've ducked the entire fleet, you're on port tack, and for some reason you pop out on the other side and you tack, and all of a sudden you see yourself in first, second, or third. Something about going behind all those boats and that little lift you get off their sail, even in bad air, pays off. They did exactly that in a race, and I think they got a third or something in that race. So those are kind of some of the special stories. We're looking for Georgetown to come out with a big bullseye on them. That's one of the tough things about leading. They do have a pretty good cushion there with most teams. No nerves on that team. You know, a couple chillax Southern Californians out there. So welcome back again. We are here at the Deegan Media and Granite River Studios here on the USS Yorktown in Charleston. We're powered by U.S. Sailing. Very grateful for all the people. We're grateful for Gill. Gill has been a long-time collaborator with U.S. Sailing and with College Sailing. And Gill, I think we're going to at least have Matt Schoen here again today to show maybe a little more stuff. I got to put on a spray top, and holy smoke, it was good. It was that medium weight one. So if you're not from Southern California, maybe wearing that one, you wear the lighter weight one, but just absolutely great. And then we might have Jerry also. Jerry from England, from the company. Jerry is here also. Got a good chance to talk to him this morning, so hopefully we'll have them. Later in the day, we're going to have Sarah Wilkinson and Moira. We got a lot of good feedback from people of their commentary. Young, obviously very good at their computer and Facebook stuff there, which I am not. But they'll be back later this afternoon to take it home for us here. And at the end of the day, we expect to be here for quite a long time. So look at that. You're looking at the outer dock. Some teams are out practicing a little bit right now. And the current is moving inside here is actually, you can see it on that boat. Inside here, it's actually moving from our left to right a little. And then out where that boat's practicing, it is still trickling from our right to left. So they're in a current line right there. You see that glassy water spot. We have a lot of swirling glassy water spots around us. That is the tide switching right in front of us as we're going there. You can see that boat ranging left to right just a little on your screen. That's our studio, folks. We're under the deck. For the Women's Nationals, we tried the upper deck, and we got blown around a little bit. So luckily, the USS Yorktown took care of us and put us under here with some interesting metal reverberations and things going on around. So we are postponed here. I believe they just said 11, I believe. So please keep checking back on Facebook and keep up to date. Go ahead and check out the scores and go on TechScore at the website. So yes, I'm John Rogers, and we look forward to seeing you back here right around 11 o'clock Eastern Time. This is the live show. Back here in a little while.
At first, it was a necessity to feed our families, to explore new worlds, and we became one with the sea. We harnessed the water and wind and used the stars to guide us. In that vastness, we created speed and discovered freedom. The sea called us, and our desire for adventure was too instinctive to ignore. So we did it for pleasure, camaraderie, and the challenge. We bestowed it to our children, and they to their children. Now, to know it is to know ourselves. We need it, no longer for survival, but to escape, to pursue adventure and overcome nature's elements, to match wits against those who share the same calling, or to simply glide across unbroken water in peace.
Joined now by Ned Goss, the head dockmaster here at the College of Charleston. Ned, 11 straight days of racing. I'm certain you've been busy making sure all the boats are completely ready to go every single day.
Yeah, every day. And for weeks prior too.
Oh, perfect. Well, I mean, it's been a fantastic job. That's what's so cool about college sailing, the provided boats, but hopefully there haven't been any really incidents so far, anything that's kept you here too late?
No, just maintaining everything and making sure we're gassed up, making sure the engines are running, making sure the boats are put away properly, just going over the boats, making sure all the lines are good, and then cleaning up the center afterward.
Yeah.
Trash out, batteries on chargers, VHFs on chargers. Yeah, that's pretty much what keeps me here late.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can see some of these boats behind us. Obviously, not all of them are Charleston owned, but the sailing community here on the big part of Charleston has just been so supportive of this event.
Yeah, so College of Charleston actually only owns 4 boats that are out there right now. So everything else is borrowed from the community. So Hobcaw Yacht Club lent us 2 of their junior program boats. James Island Yacht Club, which I'm a member of, lent us 2 of their boats, as well as their 2 iStarts. And then we've got multiple individuals who have lent us boats, like Dan Perrin, who lent us the big Carolina skiff that you guys are videoing from, Chris Hamilton and his rib, as well as several others. So without the community support and the people here, this would not be possible.
That's what's so cool about the Charleston sailing community. But you've been very busy, and we're hoping to see you out. Might we get you out there in a moth at some point today? You are the what's your record of the title?
We hit the fastest moth on the water, monohull at 36.6 knots, 42 miles an hour, 35.9 10-second average. I sailed about 34 knots for about 30 seconds until I hit waves and crashed. I had a nice bruise on my hip, couldn't wear a belt for a week, but broke my rudder in the process, but it was well worth it. I don't think I'm getting out there today. I've been 10, 12, 14-hour days for the past several weeks, so I'm a little bit shot. But we'll see. Maybe after this event and a week of sleeping, I might be able to get back out there.
Oh, that sounds great. I know all the competitors here appreciate all your hard work, Ned. So we're going to let you go get back to work, but thank you for taking some time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of the Laser Performance Team Racing College National Championship here in lovely Charleston, South Carolina. Joined now by ICSA President and Old Dominion Head Coach Mitch Brindley.
Good morning.
How you doing so far today, Mitch?
Yes, I'm doing great. Beautiful day. We got a great breeze right now. It looks like a wonderful forecast for a lot of racing.
So 102 races in the books yesterday. What are we looking at going into today? Obviously, we want to complete the opening preliminary round.
Right. You know, right now the plan is just get a lot of racing in. You know, the forecast has improved a little bit for tomorrow, it looks like, but overall, you know, today's a day for a lot of good racing, best conditions.
A lot of good racing. So what did you see yesterday as a coach? You know, you're here every single year at the Nationals. What are you seeing out there on the water?
You know, yesterday, obviously, we have this unique current that a lot of teams aren't used to, and it's, you know, it throws them off, but you know, despite that, we had some really close team races, and you know, the current when it came into play changed things around a little bit, but it still came down to a team executing the plays.
Now, from what we were seeing, there were so many close races this year, and it seems like every single year that we've done this, the team racing gets better and better and better, and the level just keeps rising. Do you think that's a testament to college sailing on the whole?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I think there's more experienced, talented team racers involved. There's better coaching. There's just better higher sophistication to the game.
Yeah, definitely the level just seems to be increased, and tensions seem to be a little bit higher at the Nationals. What are you telling the sailors, at least your sailors out there, to how to keep their heads level?
Well, our goal is we want to be better on Monday than we were right now. So we're still trying to improve, and we're glad we've got more time to keep doing it, and we're going to work hard today, and I think across the board that's what you have to do.
And the Monarchs are right there hoping to get into that gold round. What's going to have to happen today for that to happen?
Well, we've got to turn some races today, and then see where chips fall on other teams, but we hope to be able to sail in at the end.
Perfect. Well, we'll all be rooting for you at home. Any other surprises or things that you've seen thus far? Or?
No, I'm not surprised. I think College Charleston is doing a wonderful job, as we expected, to put together a great event. I think all the spectators are here, enjoy the vantage from top of the flight deck of the carrier, and it's fun sailing, it's fun watching.
No, it's spectacular, and the weather's just phenomenal. But Mitch, we're going to go ahead and let you go. Thanks for taking time to speak with us here this morning, and don't go too far away. We'll be right back with you soon with the live coverage of the Laser Performance Team Racing National Championship. We're joined now by Greg Fisher, the program director here at the College of Charleston, and essentially the mastermind behind this entire operation here for the entirety of all of 3 nationals. Greg, how's your sanity treating you so far?
It's great. We're very fortunate to have a lot of support from the Yorktown. They've been like 200% behind this event for us, and that makes it fun for the spectators, fun for the parents, and a great experience. And our team is. We're excited. They're sailing well and they're having a fun time on the water. But the rest of our team that's here to help support is putting 200% in as well. So, I think at this particular moment we're all in a good place and feeling really good about things.
Every time I see you, you're running around to a different place. So I really appreciate you taking the time to stop by for a couple questions. But everything's been running smoothly so far?
Yeah. We had some fun in the beginning when the storms are going through for the women's semis, and we have the tents on the flight deck, and of course they decided to try to fly a little bit, and we did lose one of them, but they're all good now, and it's cool. The team tied them all down in the next storm, and but we're pretty excited about it. It's all going well.
Good. It's definitely been a team effort. You're getting a phone call, so we're not going to keep you too long, Greg.
I'm happy to.
We'll stay then. No, but you do have someplace to go, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. But appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Brooks.
Thank you, Greg.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, here we are with Hobart Williams Smith Sailing Team. We've got a junior here, Griner Hobbs, and we've got a freshman here, Hector Guzman. They won the America Trophy. Their conference championship was great event. Griner here got second in A, and Hector, you won that regatta by 22 points. What do you attest that qualifier performance to?
Well, it was I get attested to our team. A lot of teamwork, a lot of great short teamwork. They were always making sure we have water, snacks, everything ready to go. It was great.
So Griner here is from Tampa, Florida. A beautiful place to sail. I used to live in Punta Gorda. We ran a class called Extreme Sailing down there, 49er class. It was quite fun. And Hector here is from Mexico City, and just really awesome. They had a good day yesterday. I think you're sitting at 8 and 5. That's a lot of people on that bubble. This has been the closest nationals that we can remember. And now, when you guys are in the race and you want to make a play 1 or 2 or 3, how does the communication work? Is there a leader, or do you guys do it by committee?
Well, I think it's all natural. I think we all communicate together. We kind of all know what the plays are doing and how they're working. But I think we all try to really communicate very loudly so everyone across the course can kind of hear what's going on. I think we all kind of are on the point to where we don't even really have to communicate because we kind of all know what's going on. It's kind of all natural. So
great. And then when you're in the race, Hector, and sailing yesterday, for instance, it's difficult to change from one boat. Do you sail the boats any differently between the FJ and the Z420?
Definitely, yeah. Definitely, you can trim a lot more on the FJs, and that's probably the biggest difference. Trimming a lot more on the FJ.
That's great. And then you guys sail. How long is the season for your team racing practices? When you do the regattas. How many regattas do you do to prepare for this event?
So the team racing season's all spring, and we probably do 6 events. All 3 of our team race skippers and our crews, we sailed 7 weekends straight this spring. So it was all team racing, and then we did 2 or 3 fleet racing events, and then right back into team racing again. So very heavily on team racing in the spring.
Well, I'm honored to stand next to two such good sailors. And what makes your team special to you? What do you think?
Well, everyone always comes to practice ready to give their 100%, and I think that's something distinguishes our team. It makes it special. It makes it everyone likes each other. We like to be around each other, so always like that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, I've followed Hobart William Smith for 15 or 16 years, and I just watched that team just grow into this powerhouse and real longevity. And it looks like you have a bright future. You have freshmen, and do you have a lot of young crew coming up?
We're actually a very young team. We're not graduating anyone this year, really. So I think you'll see some good stuff in the future too.
Well, that's great. Thank you guys very much. It was a lot of fun talking to you. Go get them today. And so, again, thanks a lot to these guys. Good luck to Hobart William Smith. And I'm John Rogers, and signing out.
We're joined now by Jack Thompson, a rising senior here at the College of Charleston. Jack has been ripping around out there, setting all the marks out there for us pretty much all weekend so far. Jack, you've been pretty busy. What's going on? The currents we've been noticing have been ripping, obviously, in Charleston. How is the race committee accommodating for that?
Yeah, well, obviously there's a lot of current. I think it's pretty similar to San Francisco, if you've been up there. But, you know, we have to adjust the course for it for sure. Like, you probably noticed the short downwind yesterday, or at least seemed short. The timing actually worked out pretty well because of the current. And then we also, the top reach kind of set the Mark II a little bit higher because even though it would be square with the breeze, they'd be getting pushed back and then have to go wing down to the mark.
Okay, are we going to anticipate probably some of the same conditions today?
Yeah, I mean, we had the same for the women's finals as well and the semifinals, and so I figure probably carry through a few more days.
Okay. And how about the forecast? I mean, we saw that sea breeze come in yesterday really nicely. Is that going to continue to be the trend over the course of the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we had for nationals practice the last few weeks. I think the women's event was a bit of an anomaly with all that breeze. The storm front came through. So that's probably what it's going to be. You probably have, you know, the weird wind in the morning again, which congrats to Ryan for handling that so well, by the way. Like, that's definitely not easy to do. The two breezes will fight. You get the westerly from the city front, and you got the southerly, the sea breeze that predominantly fills in like later in the day. So you'll be looking for it to fight until about 1 or 2-ish, and then the sea breeze will usually win out.
That sounds exciting. Looking forward to seeing that. So, Jack, we'll let you go. You got all these marks. You got to finish spoiling up. So thanks for taking your time.
Thanks, Brooks.
Let's face it, you love to sail. Maybe it's the wind on your face, the pull of the sail, and the friendships you've made on the water. Here at U.S. Sailing, we are in the same boat. Our members truly believe in the power of sailing. That's why we work so hard to make the sport more fun, fair, and accessible for everyone. But we can't do it without you. Your involvement as a member is critical to the success and future of the sport. U.S. Sailing provides training courses to certify sailing and powerboating instructors, setting the standard for on-the-water educational programs. We also manage the rating rules that level the playing field for competition, so there's agreement on who wins the race. Certified race officers, judges, and umpires make it possible to have fair competition. Without them and the racing rules of sailing, there could be chaos on the course. And we want youth and adults to discover the sport, so we connect them with information about where to access the water and sailing resources, from safety standards to community programs. U.S. Sailing members aren't just sailors. They're also instructors, coaches, race officials, volunteers, community program directors, and parents of sailors. So whether you are racing locally or internationally, or just cruising for fun, U.S. Sailing is here to help you get the most out of your time on the water. But we can't do it without you. Become a member and help support, expand, and improve the sport we all love. Visit ussailing.org to join or renew your membership today and help sailors succeed.
Hello, I'm John Rogers, and I'm here with Andy Dahl, a junior from Georgetown. Welcome, Andy. We're going to talk a little bit about the difference between Z420s and the FJs. And what's the difference between the two boats sailing, Andy?
Well, especially in this chop, you have to be really careful about the heel of the boat. The FJs, they need a lot more heel, ease the jib a little bit more, and with the Z420s, you want to take off that windward sheet in the chop.
Oh, so you're playing the windward sheet on the Z420, where the FJ, we don't do that?
Nope. No windward sheet on the FJs.
Yeah, I love the new Z420s from Laser Performance. You know, they're different than a Club 420, which I'm not a big fan of. It has a spine now that runs the full length of the boat. The hull is a different shape. It's a better planing shape. We actually saw some boats planing yesterday in this fleet, especially on the offset legs, just a little bit of planing. The boat is dramatically lighter. It actually has a forward bulkhead, so it has an enclosed bulkhead, so it's safer. A Club 420 can purl. It can fill up with water and just keep on going down the mine there. What else is different? The jib leads here are further in on the Z420 than on the Club 420. About a similar. The FJs are even further in than that. The FJs come inside the tank there. At least on these boats, they've moved them in a little, so that has helped the boat quite a bit there. And there you go. So that's the differences in the hull. What we're going to do is put Andy in the boat, and she's going to talk us through what she actually does. The crew is so crucial. So, Andy, if you can get in the boat, and then tell me, what do you do in the pre-start? What does your skipper expect of you in the pre-start? And where do you sit, and how do you do?
So in the pre-start, I'm sitting normally behind this block here, the thwart, technical terms, and I'm just trying to keep the boat flat and kind of feeling out whether my skipper needs a big roll, just a quick tack over, and just trying to keep in mind what boats are around me, keeping the flow going in the sail if there's a lot of current going against us, just to keep us close to the starting line, and counting down the start, of course.
Excellent. Okay, so what about tactically? Do you help your skipper out tactically before the race?
Yeah, it's always important. You want to get the best wind from the start. So besides looking at the distance to line and what might be the favorite end of the line, you have to really look forward at the head of the race course and try to see in the future what wind is going to be coming, what shifts we're looking at, try to get the best start off from the beginning.
So that leads right into what's been so crucial at this event. I think you would agree that the crew here has been so crucial because the conditions have been so varied. So you're having to upwind, having to keep your head out of the boat. How about you hike out just a little bit and then talk a little bit about what you do upwind? What does your skipper expect upwind?
Yeah. As long as this doesn't fall over.
Yes.
So
Hold that mic right up.
hiking, you want to be with the chop, stay close to your skipper when you're hiking. Helps keep the weight centered. And sometimes with the chop, you can use your body weight a little bit, of course, in legal standards. And you want to be able to anticipate the changes in the pressure, be able to come in on a short notice to help with those lulls. And sometimes when it gets late and maybe the chop isn't so much, it's good to move as far forward as you can, just to keep your weight in the front of the boat.
Now, what about where are you looking when we're going up? And what are you doing related to where you're looking?
Well, it's best to be able to look where the skipper can't really see. So through that window in the jib, see what the boats are doing out there, see if they're lifted, what the pressure difference is, and also try to look behind. Pretty much let the skipper focus on moving forward and be able to tell him or her anything else.
Yep. It seems to me I'm noticing a lot of need of the crew having to look out of the boat for the wind on the water. Are you doing that also?
Yes, definitely. Looking at pressure and especially here down in Charleston, looking at where the current lines are if we're happening to run into the channel with big depth differences.
We can really see how important the crew is in this whole program. Well, very good, Andy. This is Andy Dahl from Georgetown, a junior. And what's your major, by the way?
I'm a biology major.
Oh, surprise, surprise, right? Not many of those there. And I really love your team because of, the San Diego connections and the California connections of Campbell Deleskew and the Ryder brothers and stuff. So I'm pulling for you guys. Is there anybody in your life who's been a big inspiration for you, like maybe made a difference in your sailing that inspired you to stick with it?
Well, it goes pretty far back, but my Opti coach, Tom McDonald, was a big inspiration. Just because he finally got me to love sailing and stop complaining about going to sailing camp every summer. So that kept me with it.
And what yacht club was that with?
Vineyard Haven Yacht Club on Martha's Vineyard.
Great. Well, now's your chance to tell Tom thank you. And thank you, by the way, Andy. Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. All right. So there you see the difference between the boats. We got a really good insight of what is really turned out to be an incredibly important part of this regatta, and that is the crew. If the crew is not sharp on seeing the wind coming at their boat within the next 4 or 5 seconds, then they're reacting, and in sailing, reacting doesn't work. You need to anticipate, and it's really been important at this event, way more important than last year. Last year was much steadier. This has been a quite unstable regatta, and we love that because it means no race is ever over. So again, thank you, Laser Performance, building some beautiful Z420s here. The FJs are quite different. They're heavier. And so when you're watching the racing this week, you can have a little better understanding of what the sailors are going through and what they're trying to do as they rotate from one fleet to the other. So again, I'm John Rogers. Thank you again, and thank you to Laser Performance and all of the people at College of Charleston.
Gill is the marine enthusiast brand of choice. We make the highest quality marine clothing primarily for the racing and cruising sailor, but also the powerboating and fishing community. Our technical clothing will keep you dry, warm, and comfortable in all conditions, from inshore sailing and one-design dinghy class racing to the testing conditions of around-the-world sailing. Gill gets you dressed for it. We exist to simply make the best technical marine wear available on the planet so you can enjoy your time on the water to the fullest.